Okay, this will probably make the only 3 people who actually like the Polygon trilogy mad. But this guy, who everyone is talking about as super strong and powerful, well, isn't as strong as most people say he is. Or at least isn't as strong if you give the other Godzillas the same amount of time. I talk about that later. But for now, let's talk about, well, his weight. Don't get me wrong, Godzilla Earth is powerful, but there's some things you have to know. Okay, these toys aren't to scale, but he is 100,000 metric tons, it's a fat boy. Well, he's only 81,000 metric tons, and he is 92,000 metric tons. Going off the first results on Google, which, okay, sounds like he's pretty heavier than them, but keep in mind, he's supposed to be 3 times their height, which, do you know what that means? That he's 3 times as less dense, almost. More like 2.5, more 2.8. Okay, what I mean is, considering he's supposed to be taller, but weighs only 20,000 more metric tons, or 19,000 actually, than this guy, he's less condensed and less compact. Which means if King Ghidorah from the Monsterverse, who could easily tear through this guy's skin and flesh, would easily tear through Godzilla Earth's flesh, considering it's less compact in one space. Really, the only thing he has going for him is that invisible force field, but even then, how much can that actually protect him from Monsterverse Ghidorah? King Ghidorah could pretty much just tear him open, and considering he can absorb energy, I don't think the force field will protect him much. But wait, anime Godzilla fans, Godzilla Earth is stronger than Monsterverse Godzilla and every other Godzilla. But no. You see, I meant, he can fire his entire breath to space, which is impressive. But Monsterverse Godzilla done more impressive. Like that time in Godzilla vs. Kong, where he fires his atomic breath down to the center of the Earth. Godzilla Earth's atomic breath has only been seen to go to the atmosphere, which means all it has to go through is just air particles in the ozone layer. But Monsterverse Godzilla's gone straight down to the ground through a layer of concrete because of the city, and then thousands of layers of dirt and rock. And it still had enough power to pretty much almost obliterate Kong when it reached him after going through all that. So, I don't know the calculations. I don't know how far down he's gone, considering it's a hollow Earth. So it may actually be possible for the Monsterverse Godzilla to actually shoot his atomic breath into space like Godzilla Earth. And not to mention, Final Wars Godzilla also did that thing. But here's where the actual scaling comes into play. Okay, go watch Rookie Silla's video on this. And all Rookie Silla's videos. They're great YouTubers, I love them. And if you can, buy the novel.
The Arctic ice in 2042, using energy.
This is what I'm talking about.
During his 5-year
yeah, it specifically says 5-year Aspens. Oh, I can move this. Move.
He completely obliterated the approaching Gorath with a more.
Okay, so it took him 5 years to gain the power which Final Wars Godzilla pretty much put. Final Wars Godzilla put like half of his effort into his atomic blast. Not all of it. He did save a lot of power in order to fight Monster X when he destroyed the giant meteors, similar to the one in Final Wars. So that means at the beginning, when he was, let's say, 30 years old, I don't know how old he's at this point.
More powerful Crimson.
He's 1/5 of the power of Final Wars Godzilla. And we'll get to this later. Okay, now we're getting to my big point on why he's actually kind of weak. You see, he's a plant. Assuming that the people who made him took more from plants than just his appearance and mostly his behavior, is this. Plants don't move like this, while animals move. And the movement stretches and breaks muscle, which goes stronger. All plants do is get bigger, but they don't actually move. They just make the length bigger. And the difference is, in 2014, Monster vs. Godzilla was weak and pathetic. But in that 5 years absence, you can notice a drastically difference in his speed, strength, atomic breath, power, and ability to jump on his head like this. So that means he's like a bear, and I hear he was inspired, design-wise and fighting capabilities, from a bear, which makes sense. You see, he lost power when he was sleeping. Sure, he was absorbing energy, but his body was passively just getting weaker and passively using that energy up that he absorbed in order to stay alive. Instead of just... Animals aren't built to just sit around and passively absorb energy from anything. They're built to absorb energy from things that they kill and hunt. They're made for that to be more effective. Plants are built to sit around. They are made to... That means if a plant were to move like an animal, it would waste more energy than an animal would for the same amount of movement in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Basically, whenever he takes a step, it's more wasteful than when he takes a step because his body is built to more effectively use the energy like that. And that's the difference. The reason why Godzilla Earth is so powerful is not because he's actually powerful, but because he's 20,000 years in the future. When you think about it, yeah, of course he's fucking powerful. He's just been passively sleeping and absorbing plants. And a feat you can notice in every Godzilla, even the monster first one, is they just get stronger as the series goes on, as they fight more kaiju and nearly die more times. You can start 2014, where he struggled to fight two Mutos, was sluggish, and had a weak atomic breath. Then 2019, where he was more powerful because of all his fighting, more active lifestyle, and was pretty much more powerful than atomic breath. And then after he went thermonuclear, pretty much destroying every muscle in his body, pretty much, and pushing himself to the absolute limit, you can see him being faster and have a stronger atomic breath in Godzilla vs. Kong. And in fact, most power scaling of Godzilla's put that early Showa Godzilla's like country or city level, and late Showa Godzilla's multi-continental level, while early Heisei Godzilla is like large country level, while late Heisei Godzilla is like planet level. So you see, it's kind of like in reality. The more active these creatures are, the more powerful they become. But this guy, the less active he is, the more powerful he become. And the thing is, well, and he's so powerful because it's 20,000 years in the future. If we were to take Final Wars and say that 10 years, it takes Godzilla Earth 10 years to equal one Final Wars, and since Final Wars is gains more powerful, more consistently, but more power whenever he does become more powerful. So instead of like, for Earth, it's like this. For other Godzillas, it's like this. You know what I'm saying?